Now Cade York for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It was Jadeveon Clowney who got upfield for the stop.
No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Try to get it to Anderson, but it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And not the first corner that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. From the 35 on 2nd down, Watson. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Watson. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping it for the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Out of the end zone comes Smith. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
He was taken down
On second down and 4. Mayfield. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Mayfield looks to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Ed one told me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a ball.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
They go with Chubb on second down. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Off of play action, it's Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Watson's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Watson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They go up the middle with Chubb. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through.
And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. First down, Mayfield. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Ronnie Harrison.
And he's going to have a first down here as they're also into field goal range at the 28. Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns. York able to send this one through,
and that will extend their lead even further. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
After the sack on first down, Mayfield under pressure. They got him again. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Let's go. Run.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. play of the half. Mayfield eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing, Mayfield. That caught by Tremble. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. The job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Here's Mayfield. Escaping, and the pressure gets to him again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush?
Now Mayfield lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll go option on 2nd down, right side. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face, because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Third and long. It's Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake.
Pass complete. Now race for the marker.
They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out, and the Panthers will get the football back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And now a hook up downfield on 2nd down. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Mayfield on 1st down.
Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Mayfield with it once more.
Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey.
Give him the completion. No gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling, the hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block.
There's Tremble, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down.
He's got some room to operate.
And he will take it across for Panthers touchdown. DJ Moore from 10 yards out.
And the Panthers get a bit closer. But this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point. But, yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
And he'll get in. And they're going to draw themselves 2 points closer. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Maybe a free play for Watson. Flushed out right. And now here is another interception.
And he'll be taken down, although there is a flag down. Will this stand? Well, I'm so confused, Charles. So they accepted that penalty, but that gives the ball back to the offense.
Yeah, I'm checking my ears too, Brandon, because you and I both had to have heard that wrong, right? You get the turnover, but then you decline it. and put them right back out on the field with a second chance? Forget getting to the airport. Let's go to the post-game press conference and hear him explain this one.
And they run the option on second down. Here's Chubb on the read option.
Room here to run. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Jeremy Chinn, so dangerous wherever he's at on the field, and that time he gets in there for the sack.
And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory.
51 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt.
And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10.
At their own 18-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one, because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw is caught here by Anderson.
The Panthers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. And he slings one that's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome.
How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
A first down throw for Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Grant Delpit.
And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so you don't get another one picked off.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And Anderson's got it. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Mayfield. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. Mayfield now from the 50. That's complete out right to the tight end, Trimble. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Let's go.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They toss it left side to Chubb. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
One last shot for Mayfield here. That'll be caught by Anderson.
The CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going